Now, you don't dispute that Alec Murdaugh is heard on that video, nor do you dispute that makes his initial reckoning about where he was and when false. Your argument is, but he doesn't sound like a killer in it. Am I right?
Correct.
Now, why isn't the lie enough, Jim?
Well, first, the lie is clearly problematic. In and of itself, it's a lie. In and of itself, it puts him down at the kennels at 8:44. But in and of itself, it doesn't mean he killed them. What you have to buy into is that they were dead at 8:48 or 8:49, and that's the whole cell phone data. That if someone is found dead, an hour and a half after they last used their phone, then they are dead when they stopped using their phone last. That was the state's whole time of death analysis, and we pushed back on that really hard. And that juror obviously disregarded it, and it seemed like all the other jurors disregarded it. And they were, according to the one juror that you played the interview of, was more convinced that he did it because he lied about being down there. I mean, that was problematic. And the way we addressed it is put Alec on the stand. And by the time he testified, he was a lying, cheating, stealing lawyer who would steal money from his own mother and grandmother, and the view of the evidence that was in front of the jury.
Everybody
one
has...
other thing.
Go ahead, please.
When that juror said he never cried, he could not have been talking about never crying about Paul and Maggie, because he bawled the whole time on the stand. I believe, in fairness to that juror, he was talking about he never cried about stealing money from his clients. I assume that's what it's about.
Well, or even this. I mean, it's his reckoning that there weren't enough tears for him to equate it with crying. He thought it was acting. Whatever. He's entitled to his opinion, obviously. How he applies it to the facts is what's going to wind up being relevant to you. And the decision to put Murdaugh on, just to make it clear to everybody, and I've been saying this as a mediocre attorney, you work for him. So if Murdaugh says, I'm going on the stand, you could, of course, advise him. We think it's a good move. We think it's a bad move. Here's why. But at the end of the day, Mr. Murdaugh, any defendant, decides what they're going to do for themselves. Do you believe it was the wrong move to put him on the stand?
Looking back on it, actually, no. And that may surprise people. But it changed from day to day. But frankly, Chris, at the time of a point in the trial where we had to make that decision, all the bad act evidence was already before the jury. I mean, one reason, as you know, you're a lawyer, and anyone who tries cases, particularly criminal cases, one of the things you consider is what do you open the door to when you put the witness on the stand? And here, had we put him up and none of the financial crimes had been introduced in the evidence, we would have likely opened the door to introduction of the financial crimes. But that had already been done, and he was so beat up at that point. Frankly, we had to throw a Hail Mary by putting him on the stand to explain the lie, explain why he cheated, explain why he stole, and because of his drug addiction. And we had hoped that jurors had experience, whether family members or relatives, of how drug addicts lie, cheat, and steal, and that they would have understanding of that. And obviously, that did not work.
Did he think he did a good job on the stand? Did he regret taking the stand? Did he insist on going on the stand?
He wanted to testify the whole time, and it was a consultation. I'll tell you, we did not disagree with his analysis, which was this jury is going to want to hear from me, particularly because I'm a lawyer, I'm articulate, and I'm accused of killing my wife and son. And he's not wrong about that. But as a tactical matter, you have to weigh that against the jury's ability to not hold it against him if he doesn't testify. And in any event, like I said, we had all this other evidence we had to deal with that had come in under this pretense of motive, which it really wasn't. It was a character assault that worked for the state.